Hello and welcome back, everyone, to Bloodstained Ritual of the Night Hard Mode Fresh on Rocket Rabbit Commentaries. And in this episode, you may recall that we actually went through credits last time. Well, we still have things to clean up. Specifically, we have a bunch of optional bosses to go fight. And we're going to be doing at least one, if not two of them today.
Sent a letter.
What does it say?
Oh, in the great garden, seek the lunatic moon.
The moon. Of course. So that's where I should go.
You understand what he means? Whatever it is, it sounds scary. Now would be a good time to stock up.
For the record, this is a really fucking weird one for Anne to throw at us, because Anne should only be able to. Anne should only have that message specifically after Dominique leaves, but Dominique doesn't actually leave her post until after you've already solved that puzzle.
You mean the lunatic moon puzzle?
Yeah, the lunatic moon puzzle is the one where you use the Zangetsudo in the Garden of Madness in order to get into the Den of Behemoths.
So, Anne gave us the instructions to get into the Den of Behemoths after we've already been to the Den of Behemoths.
Yep.
Huh. Well, at least it's covering its own tracks. Maybe maybe you ended up in the Den of Behemoths by mistake.
No.
And you needed
like, if you've actually been playing close enough attention to environmental details, it is very obvious that something has drastically changed when you go through that room whilst you have the Zangetsudo, at least during the Miriam run. The randomizer run always breaks that room, but so, as I've already mentioned, we have some optional bosses to go deal with, and the big reason why we need to go deal with these optional bosses is because the optional bosses have got crafting components that we need in order to get the best equipment in the game.
You're gonna need the best if you want to fight your best.
No, like. I personally think that getting Eternal Blue, the best greatsword in the game, is most certainly worth this fight. But getting, what is it, the Coronation Gown? I think it's Coronation Gown and Demon Horn specifically aren't really worth getting up to. Welcome to the Millionaire's Room. You can find the Millionaire's Key normally during your trip through Den of Behemoths. So,
yay.
Or is Millionaire's Key the one that's in Glacial Tomb? I forget, honestly. I know. Okay, we are fighting a possessed slot machine, and it is important. It is important that you recognize that it is a possessed slot machine because you may be noticing that I'm using a specific spell, Bolai Blast, in order to actually reset the lever each time. But yeah, the reason why is because every time the Millionaire's Bane actually hits me, it deals a lot of damage.
Okay, so if it hits the right numbers, then it's invulnerable. Oh shit, not this crap again. Oh, that's gonna take a lot of practice to learn.
To be perfectly honest, the best answer to the leaping attack is either one of the parry skills that the katana or short swords gets, or you can use directed shield against it because it is a melee attack.
It's a freaking mimic slot machine by its own cocktail waitresses.
Yes, if it lands on cherries, that's what it does. It summons a lily.
Oh, so I can have a Manhattan while I gamble.
But we managed to score the 777, which is an instant kill on it.
Oh.
And you get paid a bunch of money as well. I think it's supposed to be 10,000 gold. I don't think it ever actually is. I think it's only 7,000 gold, but
so you're supposed to keep hitting the slots until it hits 777?
Yes, but it does actually have a dedicated hit points total that you can also deplete.
This game has a wonderful sense of humor.
It does. Remember, kids, gambling is dangerous.
Yep. And sometimes the best thing to do is to take a sword and slash to pieces the nearest slot machine you can find.
Or
just don't do it when you go to Twin River.
Because that's how Miriam solves her gambling problems.
Or Atlantic City. Or the Vegas Strip.
Alright, so, by defeating Millionaire's Bane, we have successfully resolved that particular quest that we will be turning in shortly. But, whilst we're on the quest in order to deal with optional bosses, let us, show off one of the other optional bosses that we did show off, at least in the Aurora playthrough. I know we showed it off in Aurora. I don't think that we showed it off during the Rando. And I know we also showed it off during Bloodless because I wanted to show off that Bloodless can stun lock him. Alright, in we go. The Warhorse's room. The Warhorse key, I believe, is the one that's actually in Glacial Tomb.
Trippy. Oh, not this motherfucker
yes,
again.
Revenant. I actually really like the Revenant fight with Miriam. Mostly because it's actually really simple. But if you look at this, yeah.
Whoa.
Also, because we have a copy of Pickpocket, it can trigger against the optional bosses, dropping their drop materials every once in a rare while.
Okay, can we do Fire Breath again and deal another 2,000? Yeah, 2,000 damage.
And that is why it is so nice to have MP5. Ouch.
He's got to be almost dead.
Does he have to be, Mr. Cloud, or do you just want him to be? Okay, he is
I knew it. I mean, you're telling me the biggest health bars in the game are 6,000. We were doing 2,000 damage just roasting him like that.
Well, no, actually,
1,000.
the biggest health bar in the game is technically Bale himself at 10, but you can't actually, you can kill Bale before he spawns, and it breaks the fight, but I specifically cannot do that, because I don't know, I think you have to run double risk ring, be at 1 HP, and have a max out Red Remembrance, as well as a bunch of other factors in order for it to actually work. And I'm not willing to gamble that hard. I'm just not.
Oh, I think that with the gambling motif in this game wants you to take some risks.
It does. It does. To be perfectly honest, double risk ring is stupidly not overpowered, but stupidly powerful when it comes to dealing melee damage or spell damage. But you have to be extremely good with gameplay mechanics, and I am just not. So we have another optional boss fight to go into this part.
I don't know. We've already taken 2 down.
Yeah. But, Millionaire's Bane and Revenant are honestly ones that you can take down before dealing with Grimmery.
Oh,
I'm not entirely sure if they expect you
kitty?
to take him down before dealing with Grimmery, but you most certainly can. Ouch. Ouch. Ouch! Evil ninjas!
You can't go on the ceiling. I can go on the ceiling. You should have followed him to the ceiling. That would have been pretty cool. Oh, wait, are we upside? No, we're not upside down right now.
We are not upside down. Okay, so yeah, we're missing the Carpenter's key, and the reason why we're missing the Carpenter's key is specifically because I didn't actually do most of the exploration with in Glacial Tomb that I'm supposed to. I always forget where the boss keys actually are, but yeah, Carpenter's is specifically in a room in Glacial Tomb that I referred to as the Silver Bromide Chest, because during the first release of the randomizer, if you had key items on shuffle specifically, the Silver Bromide had a very high chance of ending up in Glacial Tomb, which deadlocks a huge amount of seats that the randomizer could normally run.
Is luck on your side?
This time it is, because we're just going through the normal game. But it looks like instead of going for the Carpenter's key, we're going to be going into a den of behemoths in order to go and show off. All right. Okay, so as Bloodstained Ritual of the Night is, you know, an Igavania game. It wants to make as many references to other Konami products and popular video game references as it can. You know, the whole. One of the head items very specifically is the Vampire Mask from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. We get a Shovel Knight reference. You know, there's a lot of different references happening throughout here. What we're going to be showing off here, once we actually get to the room, is a very similar reference. Specifically to, I want to say it's Capcom or Konami, but I'm not actually sure. Is Ryu Hayabusa from Ninja Gaiden Capcom or Konami, Mr. Cloud?
I do not know, Mr. Gurdett.
Damn. Because that is the reference that we're going to be attempting to show off here shortly. Now we're going to show off the Harrier ninja race, and yes, the enemy itself is called Harrier because of the old space flight simulator. That I believe it was just called Space Harrier, wasn't it?
I don't know.
Damn it, Cloud! We're supposed to be knowledgeable about ancient video game trivia.
No, we are commentators. We can have an opinion on things, although we do not necessarily know what the thing is.
Very well then. But yeah, I am mostly convinced that the reason why this enemy is called Harrier is in reference to the old Space Harrier game, and that I can't remember who made it. I want to say it was Konami because that would make sense given the rest of the references in this title, but I am unsure. Thank you, Giant Bat.
Giant bat, giant cannon, giant staircase.
Unfortunately, we already have maxed out drops for Giant Bat Shard, so.
Tantalizing chest location.
No, I'm supposed to have high jump at this point, but I didn't farm for the bovine feather, so we still do not have high jump yet.
Have a pile of gold.
Demon Wing.
We're getting close to the next ass-kicking encounter.
Well, not the next ass-kicking encounter, but a ass-kicking encounter. Behold the Harrier race.
Oh, he's a fast one.
No, yes, he is much faster than we are normally. Thankfully, with the Aegis plate, we can actually mostly keep up with him because we don't have to deal with the spikes. Unfortunately,
what the fuck?
I don't think I actually win this fight because even with the Aegis plate, my normal run speed just isn't as fast as his is. Yeah.
But he inverts with you?
He does not invert with you, but it sometimes feels like he does, but he does not. He's just using wall jump. So we put on the speed belt, which gives us, I think it's either 20 or 50% additional run speed.
It looks like 20.
And the other thing that I'm supposed to be using here is actually Reflector Ray, but I've never been comfortable using Reflector Ray through this race.
And in the next part...
we will actually do the Harrier race correctly. Be safe, everybody.
Keep on racing. To the finish.